Mark, thank you so much for being on the show. I just got done watching Father Stu and I really bloody enjoyed it. It was raw and gritty and very inspirational. So thank you for making it and putting a lot of your dollars behind it. When did you first hear about the real Father Stu and why did you decide to make his story into a movie?
I first heard about Father Stu's story at a dinner, 5 o'clock on a Saturday with two priests. And one priest who just want to kind of order his meal, and the other one was just like really adamant about pitching me on a movie. And I was like, both of us, the other, me and the other Father Orion, were kind of like, why is he doing this? He told me the story the first time, wasn't really paying attention. Then he started telling me again, and something within the story just kind of got my attention. And I asked him to start over. And by the end of that dinner, I committed to making that movie. I knew that this was coming to me for a reason. This was an opportunity for me to use my platform and tell an amazing story. At the same time, also, I really couldn't find any reason not to want to make the movie. I mean, as an actor, where do you find a better role with such a better arc and, a character who transforms in so many ways? Stu was such a colorful guy. There were a million reasons to want to make the movie and not one to shy away from making the movie.
We got a lot of men who watch this podcast and who are trying to be good, faithful Catholic men. What do you think Father Stu can teach them in regards to that?
Amen. That they're on the right track. And, look, we all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. We've all had issues, but God's never going to give up on you. Never. So keep going, keep grinding, and, open your arms and your hearts to somebody else next to you who might be struggling and continue to pay it forward. And, we've got a big challenge ahead of us, but we're all up to the task, and we all need to come together. We need to encourage everybody to just do a little bit more.
Now, I'm sure you've been asked this a billion times, but I cannot believe that you gained 30 pounds in 3 weeks. And I'm more impressed that you look the way you look now after having gained 30 pounds. What was that like, gaining that much weight?
It wasn't 3 weeks. You know how the story starts, right? And then the myth grows. Next time I do the interview, it'll probably be, you gained 30 pounds in 3 hours. How did you do it, Mark? Tell me the bloody story.
Right.
No, I just try to put on as much weight as possible. And I didn't want to kind of do the actory put on weight thing. I mean, I've done it many times, but it was such an integral part of Stu's journey. And most of his life was predicated on his physical prowess. And so for him to kind of lose that, but gain so much strength spiritually, you really wanted to see that. And that was a big part of the story. So I put on about 30 pounds in 6 weeks altogether. We had 30 days to shoot the movie. So what happened was we shot the fight scenes the first day, and that night I started eating. And it was not fun. You'd think it's fun for a while if you eat all your favorite foods, but I had 2 porterhouse steaks that night, a baked potato, and anything else I could get in, and that felt great. And that I got home about 10 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock in the morning I was being woken up only to eat again. And eating steaks and bacon and eggs and all these things. And there was no where are the cakes, where are the cookies, where's the ice cream? That stuff didn't exist. So not fun at all, but very much called for the role.
Mel Gibson was absolutely hilarious.
I'm praying for you, Bill.
Don't you dare. You're violating my rights.
I think he did a great job in this film. What's it like working with Mel Gibson? And did the fact that the two of you share the Catholic faith help the movie?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, him, and his whole experience with the making of The Passion of the Christ and how he just took it upon himself to get that movie made. I really took a page out of his book to do that. I was constantly asking for advice. He had played my dad in Daddy's Home too. Yep. And Bill's first choice, second choice, and third choice was always Mel to play him in the film. And, he also has a lot of real life experience, and to be able to go in and be as raw as he was, he did a fantastic job. And so, he was very, very helpful.
Do you think that Hollywood is surprised that movies like this that take religion seriously do so well? There's been a spate of them the last few years.
I think it'll continue to open people's eyes. And again, we're just trying to encourage people to, especially now, it's very difficult times for everybody. We all know somebody who's lost somebody with COVID. We've all struggled with the whys of the world. We're all dealing with the inevitable, which is mortality. And so to see how Stu handled that with grace and dignity, and how it's encouraging people to embrace those things, and obviously to be supportive and loving and never giving up on people. Those are all very important messages, and hopefully they'll embrace it more. I know I've been talking to the studio now about doing much more faith-based content, both in film and television, long form and short form, and they've been very, very receptive. So I think, you want to make movies that are original stories that inspire people, make people feel really good, and encourage and inspire them and challenge them to do good things. It's pretty amazing. There's still room for lots of blockbusters, lots of superhero movies, and some kind of, original, inspiring, true stories as well.
What was great about this is it didn't get preachy. It didn't put, being preachy over the just story. I think a lot of religious movies, as well as latest kind of woke movies, just kind of come off too heavy-handed, and people are turned off by that. But this was not that at all. This is a really gritty, awesome movie. Final question for you is, you haven't always been, from what I know, a faithful Catholic. What changed, and what changed?
Well, I had a really tough upbringing, and then when I realized I wanted to make change, I started to just focus on my faith. And when I did that, I started getting all these wonderful little things happening in my life, and I only attributed that to my faith, and so that's what I just kept focusing on. And obviously, it's every day could be a challenge and a struggle for various reasons, but in my faith, I attribute all of my success and all the positive things and wonderful things that happened to me personally and professionally to my faith. It all kind of comes back to that basic foundation.
I heard elsewhere that you got a pretty rigorous daily routine. People want to know, what does your daily prayer look like?
I just kind of wake up. The first thing I do is I go, get on my hands and my knees. I'll even start just praying there when I'm laying in bed, and then I get up, and then after that I do my daily devotional readings, and I feel pretty good that I can handle whatever comes my way after that. And then I go do my workout, and I feel really good, and I'm like, oh, wow, I could do anything. And then, maybe like an hour later, I'm a little bit tired because I'm getting a little bit older, but I'm kind of reminded of what the tasks are at hand and all the responsibility I have, and how I'm kind of motivating and inspiring other people. So, again, it all kind of goes back to, the good things that have happened to me, and that's all kind of deeply rooted in my faith.
Well, I'm really grateful for your time, and I'm really grateful that you put all the effort into making this movie. So thanks so much.
Thank you, and sorry for the bad imitation. Hopefully I wasn't offensive.
No, it was terrific. It was fine. I'm used to it. See you later.
Thank you.